Jonah, the prophet who tried to outrun God. Spoiler, he failed. Ever tried running away from your responsibilities? Now imagine those responsibilities came straight from God. That's exactly what happened to Jonah, a prophet who literally said nope to God's face and hopped on a boat in the opposite direction. What followed? Storms, sailors, a giant fish, and the world's shortest sermon that somehow saved an entire city. Strap in. This is not your typical Sunday school lesson. This is the wild, hilarious, and incredibly relatable story of Jonah. Let's start from the beginning. Jonah was a prophet from Israel, son of Amittai. His job was to speak on God's behalf, delivering divine messages to the people. Now, normally, that was fine with him as long as the messages were for his own people. Jonah was patriotic, big, God bless my country and maybe smite the rest energy. Then one day, God drops a command on Jonah like a heavenly thunderbolt. Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh, that big, wicked city, and tell them to stop their evil ways. Jonah blinked. Nineveh? Like Assyria Nineveh? The people who torture prisoners and throw wild parties for fun? God, you sure you want me to go there? God said yes. Jonah said no. And not just a quiet no. Jonah bolted. He went to the nearest port, bought a ticket to Tarshish, and set sail in the complete opposite direction. That's like being told to go to New York and catching the next flight to Australia. Why? Because Jonah knew God. He knew that if he preached in Nineveh, the people might actually listen. They might repent. And God might forgive them. And that was the last thing Jonah wanted. So Jonah boards the ship, kicks back in the cabin, probably thinking he just beat the system. But then the storm came. Massive waves, furious winds, thunder. The ship rocked so violently, the sailors thought they were done for. They started chucking cargo overboard and praying to every god they'd ever heard of. And Jonah? This man was asleep, deep sleep, drooling in the hull like he didn't just run from the creator of the universe. The captain finds him, shakes him awake, and yells, "What are you doing? Pray to your God, we're all gonna die." Jonah shrugs. Yeah, this storm's probably because of me. The sailors, desperate, cast lots to figure out who's to blame, and wouldn't you know it, the lot falls on Jonah. They demand answers. Who are you? What did you do? And Jonah says, I'm a Hebrew. I worship the God who made the sea and the land, and I'm currently running away from him. Now the sailors are panicking. You ran from that God? No wonder we're doomed. Jonah tells them, look, just throw me into the sea. That'll stop the storm. They hesitate, but the storm's getting worse. So finally, with a heavy heart, they toss him overboard. The moment Jonah hits the water, boom, the storm stops, the sea calms. It's like nothing ever happened. The sailors are stunned. They've just witnessed a miracle. They start praising God right there on the deck. Meanwhile, Jonah is sinking, thinking, well, that's it. Game over. But nope, God had other plans. Enter the giant fish. Now, the Bible doesn't say whale, just a great fish. Let's call him Big Bubba. Big Bubba swallows Jonah whole. One gulp, gone. And now Jonah is sitting inside a fish's belly. It's dark, wet, smells like death and sushi. Seaweed wrapped around his head, fish bones poking his ribs. He's got nothing to do but think and gag. Finally, Jonah prays. Okay, God, I get it. You win. I'll go to Nineveh. Just please get me out of this seafood situation. God hears him. He tells the fish, spit him out. And just like that, splat, Jonah lands on dry ground, covered in gunk, stinking like low tide, but alive. So Jonah dusts himself off, peels off the fish goo, and heads straight to Nineveh. He walks into the city, which takes 3 days to cross, but Jonah only walks 1 day in. He clears his throat and gives the most minimal, low-effort sermon of all time. 40 days from now, Nineveh will be destroyed. That's it. No intro, no hope, no details, just judgment. But here's the kicker. The people actually listen. From the king down to the peasants, even the animals, everyone starts fasting and praying. The king takes off his royal robe, sits in ashes, and declares that even the cows have to wear sackcloth. That's right, fasting cows in burlap. It's ridiculous and powerful. God sees their hearts, he sees they're serious, and he forgives them. Jonah should be thrilled. He just pulled off the greatest revival in ancient history. But no, Jonah is furious. He storms out of the city and sulks. I knew this would happen, he says. This is why I didn't want to come, God. You're too kind, too forgiving. I knew you'd spare them. He stomps up a hill, builds a little booth for shade, and sits down to watch the city. Maybe, just maybe, God will change his mind and send fire from heaven after all. While he waits, God causes a leafy plant to grow over Jonah's head, giving him some much needed shade. Jonah is delighted. It's the happiest he's been all week. He practically names the plant and sings it lullabies. But then, the next day, God sends a worm. The worm eats the plant, the sun comes up, a scorching wind blows through, and Jonah is miserable again. He complains, I just want to die. God responds, really? You're mad about a plant that lived for one day, but you don't care about 120,000 people who nearly perished? And that's how the story ends. No final words from Jonah, no dramatic speech, just a divine mic drop from God. What happened to Jonah after that? We don't know. Maybe he changed, maybe he did it, maybe he finally got over himself and stopped smelling like fish. But the message is clear. You can't outrun God. And God's mercy is way bigger than our bitterness. Even when we think someone doesn't deserve a second chance, God still offers one. Even when we throw tantrums, sulk in the sun, or hop on a ship to Tarshish, God is patient. Jonah's story is messy, smelly, and honestly kind of funny. But it reminds us that God cares about everyone, even the ones we don't like. Even the people of Nineveh. Even us. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Bible tales with humor and heart, and share this with someone who's ever tried to run from their calling. Trust me, it's better to just say yes the first time. Remember to like and subscribe for more humorous Bible stories.